Fella, did you find out what the floor moves? Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Whoa, what is that? I'm taller than you. I'm more famous than you. Does not compute. My indicator shows that you are the most wanted man in the galaxy, Han Solo. I am not Captain Solo. Then who are you? I'm everybody's favorite Hollywood actor, Harrison Ford. Worst opening ever. Hey everybody, Junkman back again with a whole new Kenner video. This time we're going to talk about Star Wars dolls.
They're not dolls.
Excuse me, large size action figures. Before we do that, let's get some stuff out of the way. First, StarWarsJunk.net has been totally redesigned. It's no longer just a one-page social media outlet. Go check it out, StarWarsJunk.net. Again, totally redesigned, and you can also now get there by going to thatjunkman.com. Because I'm that Junkman. So check that out. And if you want to support this channel, go over to Patreon. We'd love to have you. Get your names at the end of the credit of the show. And some more exclusive stuff. And as always, head over to thatjunkman.net or StarWarsJunk.net and buy some cool t-shirts. Look around. We got other stuff there. Don't forget the brand new podcast that takes place in 1978. The first Star Wars podcast. It's a lot of fun. Check that out also. Now let's talk about something big. The Kenner Star Wars Large Action Figure Collection.
From Kenner's Star Wars collection, each sold separately. Large-size Darth Vader with his lightsaber. Princess Leia, champion of the rebel cause. With her defender, Luke Skywalker. You can swing him into action on his grappling hook. And load Chewbacca's laser crossbow. Star Wars large-size action figures. Up to 15 inches tall and ready for action. Large-size Darth Vader, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, each sold separately from Kenner.
Most of you may refer to this as the 12-inch line. That's okay, I'll let that go, but the box says large action figure, so we're going to call them the large action figure. And like the diecast line that we talked about last time, this line really didn't do that good for Kenner, which is kind of odd because until the release of the Star Wars figures, this was the standard size action figures for kids. You go back, you look at their very successful $6 million man toy line, they were all doll size, 12-inch, large. Before that, G.I. Joe. But when Kenner did Star Wars small, it changed the toy industry. Even G.I. Joe shrunk down to action figure size. But I do miss that fuzzy beard. My brother used to have a 12-inch G.I. Joe and I would rub that beard all day. I love that figure's beard. Anyway, that's a video for a whole nother episode. We're going to look at what was planned for the line, what was released for the line, and why it failed. First up, 1978. The first two figures to hit the store was Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia. Let's look at Luke Skywalker first. Very teen idol looking Luke Skywalker right here. He came with a grappling hook and a blue lightsaber. Yes, you heard me right, a blue lightsaber. Now, I've done videos before about the whole lightsaber thing. I still don't get it. This Luke has blue, the little Luke has yellow, Obi-Wan has yellow. It's the whole Kenner got really confused with the lightsabers. But we have the Hardy Boys looking Luke Skywalker. Now instead of just making you look at pictures like this all day, I'm gonna throw up some on the big screen. There you go, Luke Skywalker, front and back of the 12-inch. Give you time to soak that in. Okay, now come back with us. Although I don't like calling these dolls, this one you might call a doll. And no, it's not just because it's female. It's the Princess Leia large size action figure, but this one to me is more of a doll. But maybe that's just me being sexist. I don't know. The reason I count this one more of a doll is because it comes with a blue comb and a whole booklet of hairstyles you could give Princess Leia. Sorry, maybe I'm sexist, but to me, this one was aimed toward girls. This one fits more into the Barbie doll line. I mean, don't get me wrong. I sure did love combing her hair. And trying to get it back like this was almost impossible. But that's the Princess Leia. These were the first two to hit. The others followed almost months later. I'll let you take a closer look at Princess Leia. Oh yeah, look at the hair. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, that's nice hair. Nice. I like that. Oh, great. And next up for the line, everybody's favorite, Chewbacca. He came with a bandolier strap, A purse.
It's called a satchel.
It's a purse.
It's a satchel. Indiana Jones carries one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Funny joke. I saw Hangover also. Anyway, he came with a bandolier strap, a satchel, and 16 gray cartridges that really didn't do nothing but fit into his bandolier strap. And I can't forget he came with a crossbow. I know some people's going to say it's not a crossbow. The box says it's a crossbow. It's a crossbow. He's okay Chewbacca, nothing special, but he'll do. Here's a closer look at Chew-Bacon. As you can see, they went more plastic than giving him real fur. Probably cut the cost down and maybe probably for the time look better. Even in the 90s when Hasbro did this 12-inch line and fur on Chewbacca, it still didn't look right. Next up, everybody's favorite baddie, Darth Vader. Look at him in that black helmet. Scary. He came, of course, with a red lightsaber and a cape. It's a very good looking Vader. Don't have a lot to say about him because it's just Vader. Vader always is Vader. I mean, how can you get Vader wrong? So let's look at the 12-inch box for Vader up close. Man, what a Sith Lord. He Sith got it going on. Okay, we're going to round out 1978 with two more figures. They were only available at JCPenney's for 1978, although they crossed over in the 1979 line. That is, everybody's favorite droids. First, C-3PO. Human-cyborg relations. He came with nothing. He was just C-3PO. He didn't come with anything. Come on, Kenner. Couldn't you give him something to come with? Because now that I think about it in the movie, he never really had anything they could have came with. Maybe a removable restraining bolt. Maybe that would have added a little bit of fun for him. It's a good-looking 3PO, but it really doesn't do anything. It doesn't come with anything, so it kind of ends up boring at the end of the day. But here's a closer look.
Goodness gracious me.
And that brings us to the last of 1978. Again, these were JCPenney's for that year. We have R2-D2. This action figure line was retailed at about $11. Being R2 smaller, you had to give him something to come with. He couldn't be like 3PO. He had to come with something extra. And that he did. He came with the Death Star plans. No, that's Rogue One plans. He came with the 1978 Death Star plans. That's it. The plans to the Death Star. Here's a closer look at R2-D2. Worst R2 impression ever. Now let's go to 1979.
1979, a year to look forward to with hope and anticipation of better things to come.
First up in 1978, Han Solo. Okay, I don't have a Han Solo. I don't really have many of the large action figures, but I've got an Indiana Jones missing his hat. Anyone out there got a hat for my Indiana Jones? I'll take it off your hands. It's a very ugly hat. Come on, Kenner. And a lot of people say, well, you do have a Han Solo. Just take his clothes off, put Han Solo clothes on him. Well, there is a difference. As you can see, or you probably can't see, this Indiana Jones has blue eyes, where Han Solo had brown eyes. Also, the hair is a little different. This one's a little lighter color than the Han Solo. I'll throw them up side by side so you can see. But Kenner did, to save money, use the same mold and everything for Han Solo, for Indiana Jones as they did for Han Solo. Hey, you can't blame them, right? The only thing I wish they would have done with the Indiana Jones is give him a little scraggly beard. You know, unshaven look, like we all know Indiana Jones was. And do something about that god dang ugly stupid hat. It looks like a Pan and Bear hat. Come on, Kenner, you can do better than that. Anyway, we're not here to talk Indiana Jones, but we're here talking Star Wars. Han Solo. So what did Han Solo come with? A gun and a medal, like he got at the end of the movie. He even has a ribbon so you can put it around his neck. No, Chewbacca, your toy didn't get one either. Sorry. But here's a closer look at Han Solo. The next one was probably one of the least made from the 78-79 line. I'm not really sure why. Maybe they thought kids didn't want to play with an old man. I grew up with an old man next door, and believe me, we didn't want to play with him either. Here he is, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You might know him best as Ben Kenobi. What did he come with besides that nice cloak? A yellow lightsaber. Again, this whole lightsaber thing. It's a good looking figure, although he was produced less than the other ones in this line. I wouldn't call him extremely rare, but he is harder to find in the box and in good condition. Here's a closer look at Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi. And now what should have been one of the best in the line is probably the most disappointing, at least to me in the line. And we're going to talk about you, Mr. Stormtrooper. What's so bad about this? It's one big hunk of plastic. Well, the arms and legs move, but the helmet is molded onto the rest of his body. Why they did this, I can't tell you. It was a bad design. I'm sure it might have made it cheaper. It just takes the fun out of the figure. It looks good sitting on a toy room somewhere. I mean, I wouldn't know, I don't have one. But if I did, it would look good sitting over there. That is until you start to play with it and look up close. And then you notice it's just one big piece of plastic with arm and leg. They could have done so much better with this figure. He does come with a rifle if that makes it any better. And now a closer look at the non-turning head Stormtrooper. And now a small one in the large line. That sounds weird to say. Jawa. What I like about this Jawa is his eyes. They kind of an amber look. They look like they're made to light up, but they don't light up. It would have been a nice feature if it had a button that made them light up. But again, like everything back in this time, they didn't want to spend too much money on this line. But if you hold it to the light just right, it will reflect off those amber eyes and look like they're glowing. Better than nothing, I guess. And besides a nice cool cloak, he did come with a little gun. And now a closer look at a Jawa. This next one is probably my favorite. And not just because I own it. Let me show it to you. This one I can actually show. I don't have to put a stupid picture up. This is Boba Fett. And he comes with all kinds of neat features. Such as a little bag, a backpack, with a rocket that you untie the string here and it shoots off. It's more like a grappling hook than a rocket. Pretty nice little feature right there. As you can see, it's still got the rope. It doesn't shoot off, it just kind of pulls off. Which would have been nice if it shot off, but I need to dust this one off. Sorry, bud. He's got a viewfinder. Makes a tick. Don't know. And you can look through his eye. Ooh. Hello there. Pretty good. What else does he have? Of course, he has his gun. And from killing Wookiees, he has Wookiee braids. He has a little gun thing on his arm that doesn't really do anything. It looks like it fires off, but it doesn't. He's a great looking figure. This is by far the best one in the line. I'll turn him around so you can see him right there. If you're a fan of Boba Fett, you want to check this one out. To me, this was even better than the one they did in the 90s. But they had better plans for this Boba Fett. But we're going to talk about that a little later in the video, so keep watching. He's the only one that crossed over from the Star Wars box to the 1980 Empire Strikes Back box. Although I've heard people say they've seen Stormtroopers in an Empire Strikes Back box, I couldn't find one to verify that. Although for this video, we're going to say only Boba Fett crossed over to the Empire Strikes Back line. And this is the part of the video where you pause it, go down to the comments, and tell me how wrong I am. But until you do that, Boba Fett's the only one to cross over. Let's put him down. And that leaves us with the rarest of the large action figure line. And we're talking IG-88, the only large-scale action figure to appear in the Empire Strikes Back line solely. Also, like I said, Boba Fett appears on the Empire box, but he crossed over from Star Wars Empire. The only figure that would be released only in the Empire Strikes Back line was IG-88. It's a nice looking figure. He came with 4 grenades and 2 guns, so that made him extra cool. Again, at the time he was very hard to find because stores didn't want to order this line. If you're starting to collect the large action figure line, IG-88 is going to be the toughest for you to find. And now, here's a closer look. Looks like something my mom would have in the kitchen back in the 70s. So let's talk plans. What else did they have planned for the large action figure line? Well, first up, Lando. He would have been in the Empire Strikes Back line. Now, it doesn't look like much, but again, this is just a concept figure. It was never released in stores. And then they got a little too wacky with it. You had 3 or 4 different Princess Leia's planned. You had Arctic Leia, Poncho Leia, Flight Suit Leia. And the best of these planned Leia figures is Bespin Leia. I would have liked to have seen that one get released. You also have 4 Luke Skywalkers planned. First up, Luke Skywalker from the end of A New Hope.
Flight Suit Luke.
Then you have Luke Skywalker, X-Wing pilot, which would have been a kind of neat one to have. Probably the best one, Luke Skywalker in his Bespin outfit. Also planned, Han Hoth. One of my favorite figures growing up as a kid was the Kenner Han Hoth figure. I would have loved to have seen this in a 12-inch line. And probably the craziest one planned was a wind-up C-3PO. That's right, wind-up, a walking C-3PO. Now you can maybe understand a wind-up R2-D2, but a wind-up C-3PO? I got a feeling it would fall over after every step. We're going to save the best for last. We all know about the famous rocket-firing Boba Fett, but the large-size Boba Fett went through a lot of changes also. In fact, he was going to have a rocket that shut off also. Let's take a look. As you can see, the Boba Fett here looks different. He also came with 3 firing spring rockets, LED lights on his chest that would light up, the flamethrower arm, electronic sounds, and knee darts. This would have been a great Boba Fett to have. Don't get me wrong, I love the Boba Fett that we got. But looking at these photos of what could have been, I keep thinking how much better if he talked, lit up, and actually shot things off. But I keep thinking what might have been. Because we already have a great looking Boba Fett, but it could have been even better. Boba Fett, you got anything you want to add?
He's no good to me dead.
Is that all you ever say?
Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
Not a man of many words, is he? Again, let's put Boba Fett down. And I want to thank you all for watching. Again, support us on Patreon. I'll put the links in the description below. And please check out the new website, StarWarsJunk.net. Totally redid the whole thing. If you don't want to type that in, type in thatjunkman.com. It'll take you there also. I also want to tell you about Stardust. Check me out on Stardust at Star Wars Junk. I'm reviewing movies out of my own DVD collection. It's been a lot of fun, so check it out. I'll put a link to that down below also. So until we talk again, good day.